G'day viewers, welcome to another video of me telling you how it is. The simple truth about health and wellness, brought to you by my own personal experience. So I'm here in the gorgeous free state of Bavaria in Germany. Pretty much right on the border of Germany and Austria. Been in Europe for almost a month and a half now. My first time. It's been eye-opening. And traveling a lot has really opened my eyes to just how important simplicity is in diet and in your movement/exercise practice. If you're really tightly bound to a schedule and a routine, you're probably going to struggle when you're moving around all the time to stay consistent. That's no good if you're trying to get results, such as get out of pain, reverse a chronic illness, improve your performance for your sport, heal from an injury, etc., etc. So this video is going to, again, remind you that it doesn't have to be complicated at all. You just need to stick to the basics, form some simple practices that you can adhere to anywhere you are. You don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need a commercial kitchen. You don't need any fancy utensils, recipe books, none of the above. It's less about the exact routine, it's more about the principles that you follow, and you can mold the routine to your liking based on those principles. So I've been going to a lot of these raw food events, retreats, festivals, where the food oftentimes is, in my opinion, a lot more complicated than it needs to be, at least on a daily basis. The stuff I've been eating, you definitely wouldn't want to eat every day, especially if you're transitioning or trying to heal from something chronic or potentially life-threatening. For that, I would definitely go more simple, potentially even just eat fruit, some leafy greens, but if you're definitely trying to heal from something quickly, fruit is the way to go. And once you start doing this for an ample amount of time, it's different for everyone, so the ample part is arbitrary, you're going to find that when you start to introduce more complex foods into your system, they can run riot on your insides a little bit. But you need to do the work initially, clean out all the gunk inside that's making you sick, so you have a base reference point that you can work from. And it's important to reset that on a fairly regular basis, otherwise you lose touch with it and you can eat these foods, these complex foods, I should say, more and more, and then you lose sight of that reference and you start to think how you feel is normal. This ache I have, it just won't go away. I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it. Or this itchy rash, or I feel bloated after I eat these foods. I guess that's just how it's gonna be. It doesn't have to be that way. It just depends on the habits that you choose to endure with. You can break those habits. It's up to you. The choice is yours. You don't have to comply to the societal norms. Pretty much everyone I see walking around these cities, especially in Germany, they don't speak the same language that I do. I've been working really hard on, especially talking to these people that don't speak English, enunciating my letters more formally so they can understand me. They don't understand Australian English all that well, which is fine, and I understand it. I am learning more and more every day just how many letters us Australians leave out, which is kind of funny. It's been a learning experience, all the different cultural differences. But I digress. I see these people walking around. These aren't raw food people. And this might sound hubris, but you can just tell they don't have this vitality that myself and these other people who eat raw foods do. I can see it in their eyes, the way they walk, the way they hold themselves. They're missing something, and I can't help but think, if I knew what I know, and to know something is to have tested it yourself, would they still look like that? Would they still feel how they look like they feel? I would say probably not. But then this leads us to the larger point of human conditioning and the conditioning of the human mind. I think a lot of people, even if they did hear the information, because you can't know the information just from being told it, you have to have experienced it yourself to know it. And unfortunately, the problem and why this movement hasn't exactly taken off the way that I and others have hoped is because you can't just be told information and it just click. You have to learn it and know it for yourself. You have to try these things without dismissing them. So, oh, that wouldn't work because XYZ. There's not enough protein. I'd be too hungry. Blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit. Try it for yourself and then tell me that it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, do it properly with some coaching, get some guidance, have some humility. There are hundreds of people, thousands of people who are doing this and have done this successfully for decades. You don't have to do it alone. Ask the questions. Don't make the same mistakes that I did or other people. I'm a complete novice at this. I haven't been doing it 100% for even a year in a row. I slip up every now and then. And so does everybody else, for the most part, with everything. It's not just about food and exercise, it's about life. Some people are more strict with it than others, and it's because they know at a deeper level just how powerful it is. I guess it's like a login streak on a video game. The longer your streak is, the more perks and power-ups you can get. And it's just so much easier to win in the game when you have all these things assisting you, all these power-ups. You have to put less energy into trying to succeed when you have all these different faculties working in your favor. So that's how I'm starting to see it. If you slip up now and then, it kind of resets a little bit. But as I've said before, you just get back on the horse and you go again. The other option isn't sustainable if you want health and vitality. It's not going to work. Standard Western diets, or the standard anywhere diet, as we like to say, is highly stimulatory, which means that when you go back to it, if you haven't been doing the raw food thing or the living food thing long enough, you're going to feel that hit of the stimulation from the foods, the salt, oil, sugar, and you're going to feel good for a time until you don't. I'm sure every coffee drinker knows this. I don't know many people who drink coffee and just drink one and they feel at ease. A lot of them become reliant on the coffee, for example, and it becomes their source of energy. They can't do their normal routine throughout the day. They can't even leave the house. They don't feel like they have enough energy to drive to work to even start being productive. And I don't like to rag on specific groups of people, but this is just the reality of the world that we're living in. I know people that can't even go to the bathroom without having a coffee. They can't have a bowel movement without that stimulatory hit. Coffee is an extreme adrenal stimulant, and your adrenals are vital in the peristaltic movement of the bowels and all the other subconscious functions that your body provides you all day, every day. So when you start taking it, your body quits making it. So all the hormones and other things that your adrenal glands are responsible for, super powerful. They sit right on top of the kidneys, play a huge role in how efficient your kidneys work as well. And if your kidneys aren't working, then you're not going to be filtering your acid lymphatic wastes from your cells, which is the root of basically all disease. It's really not that complicated to learn this stuff, and when you do, To know it, you have to feel it. Eat grapes for a week, even a couple of days. I did a month last January, even just from going from fruits and some vegetables just to grapes. The difference was insane. Obviously, that's not sustainable, but I felt what that was like, and now I know what it feels like. And that is the base reference point. That is what I base everything else, base how I feel off. It's a reference point. Another could be how I felt on watermelon, or for most people, it's just how they feel every day, but it's this slow decline over that lifetime. Some people think that after they leave high school and they're no longer a teenager, that feeling sore and having to do an hour-long stretching routine just to feel limber in the morning is normal. And it is, but it's not natural. I've had people I used to go to school with tell me that, but it's normalized through all the TV advertising and just people confirming this in each other, because everyone feels the same, because everybody eats the same. We could be doing so much better. This video has been a bit of a ramble. I feel like I just need to get this out, and I need to be more direct with the people watching this, because the people who really need to watch this are the ones who need it most, and that's how it works, and they're the ones that probably aren't going to watch it. That's okay. At least the information is out there. That's all that matters. You have to come to this conclusion yourself. No one's going to tell you, as I've said, the truth. You can only know the truth. And the only thing there is to know during your time here in this realm is yourself. So you may as well start now. So if you're in pain, chronic illness, you ache all the time, you've got a sore knee that stops you from doing all the things you really loved doing when you were a kid, just know that it's reversible and it's completely your fault that you're in that situation. Whether that's true or not is a different discussion, but as long as you treat it that way, that's the only way that you're going to get out of it. Regardless of the cause, this point forward is your responsibility. So, if you've made the decision to improve things and start to know yourself through changing your lifestyle, you want to start to feel good, regain some of that childlike ability you used to have. Maybe if you're really unfortunate, and I feel for these people, they grew up overweight or sore or injured, and they never experienced that. I can't even imagine. I mean, I struggled with injuries in my later teens that stopped me from doing basically everything that I love to do: athletics, running, all kinds of sport, anything high impact. Slow walking was basically the most intense thing I could do. But at least I felt a little bit of what that was like. Pretty much every kid you see out in public before they're fully conditioned is just running rampant, jumping over everything, screaming, playing with things. They make up games on the spot. They change games on the spot. It's incredible to watch. It's definitely something to be said for the art of play and regaining that or relearning that, because it was kind of squeezed out of us or conditioned out of us. Another topic completely, but you can't look at health without looking at society holistically. It's all the same. It's all one big program. So you need to relearn how to be healthy, basically how to be human. You don't have to do it alone, but you have to be willing to start. I've started a community of people who want to feel like a child again, mostly physically. But once you feel like a child physically, you can do basically whatever you want. You can start the business, you can hike these mountains, you can go snowboarding, you can play basketball again, you can train for the Olympics, whatever you want to do. Unless you have your health and your physical body, you don't have anything. So come and join us. It's free at the moment. We've got some educational resources. I've put together some programs, some simple programs for strengthening knees if you've got knee issues like I used to have. stop me from running. Shoulder exercises, back programs. I'm adding more resources on diet and fasting. Start testing it out for yourself. And then there will be a one-on-one coaching option for those of you who want to expedite this process, missing all the mistakes that I've made. And then you can also bounce ideas off the other people in the community, other people who are doing a similar thing. They started from a similar point, but they realized at some point that what they were doing wasn't right. And they decided to make a change and start the journey. It's a gradual process. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Although I will say, just after 3 days on grapes, you're going to feel something. And that something is the truth. So if that interests you at all in getting help and starting the journey, start feeling like a kid again, so you can enjoy all the beauty that this realm has to offer, then hit the link in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a comment if you're on Instagram and I'll reach out to you. There'll be a link in my bio as well to the group. That's all for now. If you're ready, I'll see you in there.